everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that affects so many of us, and that's burnout. Now, you've probably seen on my channel a couple of interviews I've done with women who've been brave enough to come forward and tell their own stories around burnout. It is becoming the norm, and I really am truly not happy about this becoming a normal way of life. Now, burnout is defined as a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. Now, according to recent statistics, over half of employees report feeling burned out at their current job. And additionally, the World Health Organization officially recognized it as an occupational phenomenon in 2019. With the nonstop demands of our modern work culture, it's no wonder that burnout has become the norm. However, I want to change that. I don't want it to be normal to have a burnout story. I want it to be normal to support ourselves so that we can avoid burnout altogether. First, I want to start by sharing some early warning signs and then provide tips for coping and recovering before you reach that breaking point. Signs include feeling drained, a lack of energy, being cynical or critical at work, having difficulty concentrating, feeling disorganized, and like you're constantly behind, lack of satisfaction from achievements, feeling like you're just going through the motions, increased anxiety or sadness, headaches, stomach issues, changes in your appetite, and disrupted sleep patterns. Think about even like feeling disconnected if you get to that place where it just becomes so unbearable and you like start to find yourself falling away, like hiding away from people, removing yourself from social situations. So really pay attention to if any of these resonate with you, that perhaps this is a time that you really are on the road to burnout. And I want to be able to help you stop that. So here's some proven strategies to combat burnout that go hand in hand with my key self-care essentials, which I've shared before with you in some of my videos. First, knowing what's on your schedule is, I believe, key to a well-structured use of your time. If you're truly not sure where all your time is going and you find yourself saying you have no time or you don't have enough time to get everything done, start with auditing your workload and your commitments and see what you do and possibly where you can cut back. It's taking a look at your calendar and seeing what you're putting in there, how you're filling your days. Because a lot of the time we think that we're in the doing so much, we think we're work, when actually a lot of the time we might not be. We might actually be doing busy work or actually on social media scroll or things like that, things that really are not work related, but we think that we're in the doing of things. So we think we're filling our time wisely. So I say start with your calendar. I like to have not only my Google Calendar, but I also have a Google Doc that I created. It's an actual Word document. And what I've done is I've just done like a time slot from 7 to 7. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it's in half-hour increments. And I insert everything that is normal on those days, any appointments that are new go on those days, whatever days they are, like Monday through Friday. And I found myself doing it 4 weeks at a time, which is really helpful. And then once you've done that, it helps you to see what you've been using your time on. Plus, it also shows you the white space, meaning the open space, spaces where you really don't have anything that you're doing. And that is very helpful to see that. It's very calming. So look at your calendar and see what you're doing. And when you see what you've got there, then start looking at your calendar and identify obligations that really aren't absolutely essential. Like even small changes can make a huge difference. Plus, ask yourself, how often do you say no or not right now? Are you overwhelming your calendar because you don't know how to say no, because you want to be liked, or you want to be seen as someone who can be counted on? Now, I believe that auditing your workload and commitments goes hand in hand with my first key essential, self-care essential, which is learning to say no. I know it can be really hard to say no. I know, especially if you're a people pleaser or you're worried about how others see you and possibly afraid of people judging you. Now, everyone has an opinion, right? But it doesn't mean that their opinion is fact. It doesn't mean if they have an opinion about you that it's true. But maybe you're also that person who feels guilty about saying no because you believe that when an opportunity presents itself, that somehow you've been chosen, right? And so you must say yes, even if it's at the detriment of your well-being, and that another opportunity like it may never or will never present itself to you. But I want to tell you this, saying no is essential. It's an essential self-care skill, because when you say yes too often, what you end up doing is you're overloading your calendar, you're overloading your time, you're overloading your day, you're overloading your emotions, your everything about you, you're stressed out and you're depleting your energy. Learning to say no is learning to protect your time, because you're setting boundaries about how you spend your time and your energy so that you're prevented from overwhelming your calendar and overextending yourself. That's why it's really important to know what you do daily. So how do you say no without feeling guilty or feeling like you're doing something wrong? Because I know even that can make you feel like, oh, if I say no, I'm doing something wrong. Well, when a commitment conflicts with your values or your priorities and in essence doesn't make you feel good, that's a sign. That's an indicator to you that it's not a right fit, because it's how you feel. Your gut instinct is it doesn't feel good. Doing things in alignment with where you're at in your journey is important, and it helps you protect your time and your energy. And when you're all over the place, though, and you're saying yes to everything because you think you have to say yes to everything, because you think that opportunities that are coming your way might not present themselves or will not present themselves again. And so you say yes, and it might be part of your bigger plan, but it doesn't fit right now. You risk actually becoming confused, overwhelmed, maybe even wanting to quit. Unfortunately, with women who are entrepreneurial, over 75% have faced burnout. What's more even alarming to that as well is that over half, because of this, they have wanted to quit what they love. And so I know that all too personally, because that was me. I've done that multiple times until I finally had enough. So another sign would be when requests would compromise your well-being. For example, it doesn't fit with what you're doing because you're already committed to something else. And squeezing in one more thing is going to overwhelm your day, leaving you exhausted at the end of your day. Understand this, your self-care must be a non-negotiable. I know when people say must or should, that you don't like to hear that, but self-care is essential. I believe it's the lifeblood to our success in life and business. So it must be a non-negotiable mindset that you adopt so that you can say no with confidence, thereby protecting your time, your energy, your mindset, and your quality of life. Now, if it's something you would like to do, for example, someone asks you to do something, but it doesn't quite fit in within your schedule right now, you can always offer something, an alternative solution to the time and the day of their ask. Meaning, if it doesn't fit right now in the time slot they're asking, you can always say, I can't do it today. I can't do it at this time, but I can do it this time. Will this still meet your needs? So that way you can see if you're able to do it. But if you can't, that's okay, because I know it can feel uncomfortable, but it's important. It's important that you learn to flex your no muscle, because the more you learn to do that, you protect your time, you protect your energy, and you support quality of life for you and those you love. Now, I want to talk to you about my second key self-care essential, which is asking for help. This is really important, one that I really resonate with, because I used to believe that if I asked for help, or I answered one of those social media posts about where are you stuck, where do you need help, all of those types of posts that we see on a normal basis on social media, I felt that if I admitted out loud that I didn't know something or that I was stuck, that I was weak, that I was an imposter, that I wasn't good enough to be doing what I was doing. And that people would look at me like I was a fraud and ask me, why don't you know this? You should know this. Aren't you a coach? And I finally understood, after a lot of trial and error, that asking for help really was a sign of strength. It was a sign of strength because it opened me up to others' perspectives. It's really not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of self-awareness, because you learn by allowing others to give you their perspectives. It opens you up and allows the aha moments to come to you because someone else is giving you feedback. It allows you to lighten your load because you're leaning on those in your life who support you. And if they're given the chance, they'll most of the time offer that helping hand that you're asking for. It makes them feel good to lend a hand, and it makes you feel good to get the support that you need. So here's some signs for you to be aware of that could mean it's really time for you to ask for help. Even if you are that person who's like, nope, I feel like it's a weakness. I feel like I'm an imposter. I don't want people to know that I don't know, but it really will help you to really ask and get that support you need and not stay stuck. So here's some signs to be aware of. When you are overwhelmed with a lot on your plate, that is a sign that you need to ask for help. When you lack expertise in a certain area, you just don't know something, you're not sure about something, how to do something, where to look for resources, ask for help. Why stay stuck? When you need that support during challenging times, because maybe you're going through something and maybe you have depleted energy and you really need that helping hand, that's a time to ask for help. But make sure when you are asking someone for help that you're specific about what your needs are, whether you want them to just give you a listening ear, because you might be like myself, I like to hear out loud my thought processes and I like to bounce my ideas off of people, and it allows me to get their feedback and I'm hearing it back. That's sometimes how I like to do it. But maybe you just want someone to just listen without giving you the guidance or support or advice, or you just want them to hear you. The next is asking someone you trust, right? Community is so valuable in times of need. So if you have people in your life that you trust, that you know have your back, that support you, then go to them and ask for help. Don't allow yourself to stay stuck. Again, it also goes with delegating. If you can't do something, you need someone to take a task off your hand. It allows others in your life, the ones that you ask, to use their gifts, which frees up your time and your energy, not only for self-care, but it allows you to do other things, that you can focus your energy on other things. And if given a chance, most of the time anyways, when I've asked for help from those I trust, they're more than willing to lend a hand. So I've never really had a problem with that once I understood the power behind asking for help. Now, the third key self-care essential is taking mental breaks. There are so many demands on our attention, and it's so easy to move from task to task without coming up for air, right? And it's super easy to take that to-do list that we have and do check mark done without being aware of what we've really accomplished and without celebrating our wins. I'll give you an example. Have you ever, at the end of your day, said, I know I was busy, but what did I do? I have no idea what I did. Because what you've done is you've gone through a checklist and you've gone check mark done, and you've not taken time to really digest what it is that you've done. You've not really taken time to focus and celebrate that you finished something and really allow that to sink in, because those celebration moments, those things that you accomplish, can actually serve you when you're in those moments of being stuck. When you feel like you just, you're stuck on something, you can go back to those things that you have accomplished and allow them to inspire you. And the way to do that is by documenting them. I do that daily. I document what I do. And so when you do that, it allows you to then go back, especially if you're stuck, and you can find ways to inspire yourself. But taking mental breaks really is one of the most important self-care essentials. I believe is crucial to our overall well-being, especially as it relates to burnout. I just mentioned earlier, when you consider the statistics that over 75% of female entrepreneurs experience burnout, and that over half of them have considered giving up their business due to burnout, I hope that it inspires you to look at your self-care habits so that you don't go down burnout road. Because when you incorporate taking mental breaks into your day-to-day and you allow yourself to step away from always being in the doing, it helps your brain reset, recharge, and rejuvenate so you can come back to whatever it is that you have next with more focus, with more energy, with more intention. Now, I want to let you know that it's not about taking your eyes off of work screen and going to social media screens. You're not going from your laptop, picking up your cell phone and scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok or Twitter or whatever social media app that you follow. You want to really take time away. So mini breaks, like 5 minutes of meditating or journaling or deep breathing, maybe taking a short walk away from where you're sitting, getting up and walking around even for 5 minutes to get away, allowing for the brain to turn off from constantly being fed with information. And for longer breaks, you could go for a walk, engage in a hobby like painting, writing, or music. And these are things that you can do that can help your brain to feel like, even though, you might be painting or writing, or you might be listening to music or even dancing around. I mean, I even suggest that you're taking your away from work mode and you're doing it more personalized and doing self-care. Now, the fourth self-care key essential supports the taking of mental breaks, and that's having a hard stop at the end of your day. And it could mean that some days your hard stop is 7 p.m. and some days your hard stop is 3 p.m. It really has to fit into your lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be the same every day, because self-care is not a one size fits all. It is individualized because we all live individual lives. We're not living the same way. We don't all have the same responsibilities. We might have similar responsibilities, but how it plays into our day is different because we are different. So it's knowing that and figuring out. I talked about the calendar, being really super clear about what you do on a day-to-day basis will be very helpful in you scheduling in your hard stops at the end of your day. And that way, you're not, you're able to then step away, and you'll be confident in stepping away at that hard stop time. Remember, we're constantly plugged in, and it makes it really difficult at times to unplug from our work, even our social media, so that we make time for rest and relaxation, including bonding with our loved ones. But it is so essential that we do that. So like my hard stop, as an example, is between 6 and 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is a hard stop. But if I have nothing between 6 and 7, 6 p.m. is my hard stop, which means my laptop's closed down. My phone is off. Well, it's not off, but I don't use my phone. I'm done with it. It's out of my sight. And I'm spending quality time with my husband. That's important to me. I'm not answering emails or voice messages or text messages or having client calls or meetings or working on content creation. None of that. It's a hard stop. What that does is it creates a healthier work-life balance and allows you to be able to have quality of life. It allows your mind to fully rest and recharge and wind down from what you've been working on the whole day, giving your brain time to digest what you've already fed it. It's like you're feeding your brain, right? It makes space for your relationships, your hobbies and your self-care. Now, if you need help in staying accountable, maybe you set a timer on your phone to go off at the same time on those days. Like if it's different on different days, and you have set a timer for that specific day, so it goes off at that time, and make sure that it works within your schedule, and that it will give you enough time to really wind down from your day so you don't go to bed with monkey mind. And when you have that hard stop, it means you unplug from all tech, which in turn means that you have to hold yourself accountable so that you don't check your emails or do extra work after you've decided that this is the time that I'm no longer doing this. And if it's really hard for you to do that, to keep yourself accountable, then get yourself an accountability partner, someone who'll check in with you to make sure that you're honoring your boundary around your time. Develop an evening wind down routine. Maybe it's, like I said, 6 p.m. when you're spending time with your family, having dinner, talking about your day. And maybe then you end your days before you go to bed by journaling in your gratitude journal, getting into that gratitude mindset, which is scientifically proven to help people sleep better. Now, last on this list today is my fifth key self-care essential, which is connecting to purpose. So on a recent video, I called it GPS, I call it God's plan for success. But in essence, it's the belief of something greater than yourself. It's where connection and purpose gives us the sense that we're here for a reason, for a deeper purpose, a deeper mission, that we're connected to each other and to God, or maybe for you, it's the universe. It's reflecting on our why, our purpose, our mission, and what lights us up, what we're passionate about, our legacy, if you will, how we want to impact the world. And that's why having that connection to purpose is really important, to understand your why. When you understand your why, everything you do, every waking moment will come from that place. So recapping, we talked about learning to say no and how that helps you protect your time and your energy, so that when you say yes, you can say yes to things when they align with you and in time slots that don't overwhelm your calendar. Asking for help is a sign of strength, because it releases you from the burden of believing that you have to do everything by yourself, which is not true. It allows you to delegate tasks to others, allowing them to help you, which makes them feel good. And in turn, makes you feel good, freeing up your time to do other things, because it does come back to time, right? Everything comes back to time, how we use our time effectively. Taking our mental breaks to recharge throughout our day is essential so that you don't burn out. It's learning to allow your brain to digest what you fed it, so that it has time to understand, and then you can then start to fill it again. You want to be able to know what you've learned, what you've actually fed into your brain. You don't want it to, it's almost like, as an example, taking a glass and putting it in your, under your faucet, turning the faucet on and just allowing the water to just continuously fill the cup to overflowing, and it never stops. Well, that what's happening is the water's not staying in the glass, it's overflowing because it's already full. It's the same for your brain. If you keep filling it, it's just going to overflow. You're not going to retain. So you need to have those times where you do take mental breaks to allow that. And then having that hard stop to your day consistently allows you to spend that quality time with your families, to build deeper level bonds with them. It allows you to truly unwind from your day so that you set yourself up for a good night's sleep, and you don't go to bed with monkey mind because your brain won't shut off. You've given it ample time to unwind. And finally, connecting to purpose gives us a sense that we're here for a reason. It allows us to find that clarity around what our purpose in life is, what lights us up, what we're passionate about, what legacy we want to leave behind, what impact on the world we want to make. And that rounds out the fives. So my greatest wish for you today is that you feel inspired to honor your whole self through self-care, so that it supports you both personally and professionally, and so that you avoid burnout and truly live a quality-filled lifestyle. Remember, when you take care of you the very best you can, you get the best of you, and so does everyone and everything else in your life. So remember that. Thanks for watching today. I hope that you found value. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video around so that I get more eyes on my material to help other women so that they live quality-filled lives. Until next time, stay empowered and keep taking care of you the very best you can.